Welcome back to KJVA Quiz. Family, let's gather in as we study Feast of Dedication, aka Hanukkah, where we see altars cleansed, lamps rekindled, courage refined. From the Maccabees' grit to the Messiah walking in Solomon's porch, this feast teaches us to guard the sanctuary within and without. Expect history that humbles, prophecy that clarifies, and symbolism that points to the true light among the candlesticks. If this light strengthens you, show love with a like, a share, and a subscription. Let's rededicate our minds to the Most High. Q1. In which gospel is the Feast of Dedication mentioned? Options: A. Matthew, B. Mark, C. Luke, D. John. Answer: D. The Feast of Dedication is mentioned in John. John alone records Jesus attending this winter feast in Jerusalem. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. Where was Jesus walking during the Feast of Dedication? Options: A. Court of the Women, B. Solomon's Porch, C. Mount of Olives, D. The Upper Room. Answer: B. Solomon's Porch. Jesus walked in Solomon's Porch, a covered walkway on the eastern side of the temple. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 23. What season does John mention during this feast? Options: A. Spring, B. Summer, C. Autumn, D. Winter. Answer: D. Winter. John specifically notes that the Feast of Dedication occurred in the winter season. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. What accusation did the Judeans bring against Jesus during the feast? Options: A. Healing on the Sabbath, B. Sorcery, C. Blasphemy, D. Idleness. Answer: C. Blasphemy. They accused Jesus of blasphemy because he made himself equal with God. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 33. What do the Messiah's sheep do according to him? Options: A. Fight, B. Scatter, C. Hear his voice, D. Offer sacrifices. Answer: C. Hear his voice. Jesus teaches that his true sheep know him, listen to his voice, and follow him. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 27. What title did Jesus declare earlier that connects to the theme of dedication and light? Options: A. I am the bread of life, B. I am the light of the world, C. I am the resurrection, D. I am the vine. Answer: B. I am the light of the world. This declaration connects directly to the themes of restored light and temple purification. The book of John, chapter 8, verse 12. What does Jesus say no one can do regarding his sheep? Options: A. Mislead them, B. Take them out of his hand, C. Silence them, D. Scatter them to the nations. Answer B. Take them out of his hand, and Jesus promises eternal security, declaring that no man can pluck his sheep from his hand. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 28. What did Jesus say his works proved during the Feast of Dedication? Option A. That he was greater than Abraham. B. That he was the promised prophet. C. That the Father was in him. D. That the kingdom would come immediately. Answer C. That the Father was in him. Jesus declares that his works testify that the Father is in him and he in the Father. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 37 through verse 38. Which element of the temple did Jesus symbolically fulfill? Options A, the veil, B, the menorah, light, C, the incense altar, D, the laver. Answer B, the menorah. Jesus fulfills the symbolism of the menorah by declaring himself the light of the world. The book of John, chapter 8, verse 12. What term does Jesus use to describe his unity with the Father? Options A, I and my Father agree. B, I and my Father have peace. C, I and my Father are one. D, I and my Father share purpose. Answer C. I and my Father are one. Jesus proclaims perfect unity with the Father, intensifying the opposition against him. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 30. What did Jesus say his works testify of? Options A, his lineage. B, the kingdom of Judah. C, his Father. D, the law. Answer C, his Father. Jesus explains that his works bear witness that he was sent by his Father. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 25. What reaction followed when Jesus escaped their hands? Options A, they rejoiced. B, they sought him again. C, many believed on him. D, they ignored him. Answer C. Many believed on him. After leaving Jerusalem, many who heard him believed, acknowledging the truth of his works. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 42. Where is the origin of the Feast of Dedication recorded? Options A, 2nd Maccabees. B, 1st Maccabees. C, 2nd Esdras. D, Esther. Answer B, 1st Maccabees. The institution of the Feast of Dedication is recorded in the Maccabean restoration of the temple. The book of 1st Maccabees, chapter 4. How many days did the Maccabees celebrate the rededication? Options A, 3, B, 5, C, 7, D, 8. Answer D, 8 days. The Maccabees kept the dedication for 8 days with joy and gladness. The book of 1st Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 56. Who was the oppressor who defiled Jerusalem? Options: A. Herod, B. Antiochus IV Epiphanes, C. Nebuchadnezzar, D. Xerxes. Answer: B. Antiochus IV Epiphanes. Antiochus defiled the sanctuary, outlawed the law, and persecuted Israel. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1. What defiled the altar before the rededication? Options: A. Idol incense, B. Pig sacrifice, C. Broken stones, D. Philistine idols. Answer: B. Pig sacrifice. The Greeks offered swine upon the altar, making it unclean and requiring its rebuilding. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 47. Who led the revolt against the Greeks? Options: A. Simon, B. Eleazar, C. Judas Maccabeus, D. John Hyrcanus. Answer: C. Judas Maccabeus. Judas the Hammer led Israel's military and spiritual resistance against Greek oppression. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3. What did Judas and his brothers rebuild after cleansing the temple? Options: A. The treasury, B. The walls of Jerusalem, C. The altar of burnt offerings, D. A new gate. Answer: C. The altar of burnt offering. They rebuilt the altar with new stones after removing the defiled ones. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 44 through verse 47. How often was the Feast of Dedication commanded to be kept? Options: A. Every sabbatical year, B. Every jubilee, C. Every year, D. Every 40 years. Answer: C. Every year. The Maccabees established the feast as an annual celebration of victory and restoration. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 59. What did Judas Maccabeus appoint to guard the restored sanctuary after its cleansing? Option: A. Priests with trumpets, B. A garrison to protect the temple, C. Levites with lamps, D. Scribes and elders. Answer: B. A garrison to protect the temple. Judas set a guard over the sanctuary to ensure no more heathen defilement. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 60. What did they do with the stones of the defiled altar? Options: A. Buried them secretly, B. Tossed them into the brook, C. Laid them aside, D. Ground them into dust. Answer: C. Laid them aside. The stones were set on a mountain until a prophet should determine their fate. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 46. What sign from heaven strengthened Israel during the temple restoration? Options: A. A cloud, B. A rainbow. C. A shining light appearing from above. D. Fire falling from heaven. Answer C. A shining light. Heaven sent a bright light to strengthen the righteous during their restoration work. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 30 through verse 31. Who chose death rather than violate the law by eating swine? Options: A. Mattathias, B. John, C. Eleazar, D. Jonathan. Answer C. Eleazar. Eleazar, a respected elder, accepted martyrdom rather than defile himself with forbidden meat. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, 18 to 31. How many brothers were martyred under Antiochus for refusing to defile themselves? Options: A. 3, B. 5, C. 7, D. 12. Answer C. 7 brothers. 7 brothers courageously chose death rather than break the commandments. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7. What belief strengthened the 7 brothers in their suffering? Options: A. Reincarnation, B. Revenge, C. Resurrection, D. Escape. Answer C. Resurrection. Their faith in the resurrection empowered them to face torture without fear. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7. What prophet hid the ark, tabernacle, and altar of incense? Options: A. Isaiah, B. Jeremiah, C. Ezekiel, D. Joel. Answer B. Jeremiah. Jeremiah hid these sacred vessels to protect them from foreign desecration. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1 through verse 5. Where did Jeremiah hide the sacred vessels? Options: A. In the wilderness, B. In a cave on the holy mountain, C. Beneath the temple, D. In Babylon. Answer B. In a cave on the holy mountain. Jeremiah placed the vessels in a cave on the mountain where Moses once saw the glory of God. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 4. What act did the Maccabees perform to rededicate the sanctuary? Options: A. Burnt offerings and songs, B. A solemn fast, C. A 7-day water cleansing, D. A reading of the law only. Answer A. Burnt offerings and song. They offered sacrifices with praises and hymns to celebrate the restored altar. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 54. After cleansing the temple, what instrument did the Maccabees use to give praise? Options: A. Harps, B. Trumpets, C. Cymbals, D. All of the above. Answer D. All of the above. The Maccabees rejoiced with songs, harps, cymbals, and trumpets as they celebrated the purification of the sanctuary. The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 54. What inspired Judas and his brothers to celebrate 8 days? Options: A, the days of creation; B, the feast of unleavened bread; C, the feast of tabernacles; D, a prophetic dream. Answer: C, the Feast of Tabernacles. They patterned the celebration after the joy of the Feast of Tabernacles, which they previously were unable to keep. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 10, verse 6. Beloved, the Feast of Dedication is a testimony of a people who refuse to bow, refuse to forget, refuse to let the altar go dark. Our Messiah honored that memory in winter's cold, and our ancestors sanctified it with courage that still speaks today. As it is written, the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. Walk in that light, family. Rededicate your house. Rededicate your heart. Subscribe for weekly KJVA quizzes, restoring covenant memory through study and spirit.